more than a product. The trillion is a vision to provide comfort, elegance, class, community living, and much more. As if you see in all our development, there is a concept. Like in Vinchan, the concept is on Saptarishi concept. We focus on number 7. If we talk about elements, so elements we focus on number 5 elements. Likewise, the trillion, we focus on number 3. So there is a very significant role of number 3 as per Hindu mythology. Number 3 हमारे दिल के बहुत करीब है. Number 3 is a symbol of wholeness. At trillion also we have 3 towers, 3 level of basement.
We've got 3 beautifully designed towers, right? 3 skyscrapers on a very very important junction which has a lot of connectivity. ठीक है, 48 में सुभाष चौक आप सबने देखा है. All of us have seen सुभाष चौक, right? 48 site offers you connectivity, one through Sona Road to Delhi Mumbai Expressway, gives you easy connectivity to NH8, right? The new metro line which is already approved, construction about to start, is essentially going to start from Huda City Centre metro station, go through Subhash Chowk, then Hero Honda Chowk. So in terms of connectivity, it's going to be one of the exceptional locations. The concept of 3 is translated into these 3 beautifully designed towers. These 3 towers are going to be visible from NH8. So if you're driving down on NH8 from, let's say, Signature Chalk and all of that, you will be able to see these 3 magnificent skyscrapers from NH8, from Sona Road, and it's an identity in itself. It's a beautifully designed facade. Still plus 45, it's going to be the first vertical development of Sona Road, one of the tallest towers in Gurugram, right? It's going to become a marquee development for Sona Road in that sense. It will be recognizable. You're going to be able to recognize the building from the crown that we're creating, and that's the exceptional bit about this development. Right, these are the principal architects that we've taken on board, primarily international architects. I've done a lot of work across the globe. DPA, One Landscape, Grey Matter. Grey Matter is our interior consultant. We're creating a beautifully curated club which is part of the development, and that's going to be landscaped by Grey Matter. The idea primarily is that when you engage with these global consultants and bring your own global expertise from the projects that we're doing across the globe, you create something which will meet global benchmarks. That's what we're intending to create with the trillion. The trillion by itself, is there any trillionaire in the world today? None, right? It's an aspiration. It still remains an aspiration. There are billionaires, there are millionaires. There's no trillionaire, right? And that's the aspiration. So the trillion itself is an aspirational lifestyle that we want to create for the residents who are going to be staying here. That's the idea behind the name. That's the idea behind it. What we're going to do now is quickly have these global experts give you a glimpse of their vision of what they thought when they were designing this particular development.
So now here, what our architects have to say, a small video.
There is a certain elegance in the proportion of a design of 3. In nature, there are also plenty of examples where nature is designing as per the proportion of 3.
It's a very subtle way, to represent the number 3, the residents who are staying there. They see this connect why we kind of carried the story all the way. The concept of this using 3 different kinds of materiality within some of the areas, and also we have some flowers that have got 3 petals. The way that we want to create some kind of this number 3 can be represented in many sort of different ways. Even some step, there is sort of a 3 sequence of steps in the amphitheater.
The name of the project is in such a way that it sort of elicits a luxurious feel, that this project is going to be exclusive. The Trillion by Experion will be a landmark, and it will be once in a lifetime opportunity.
I think the beauty of Trillion, I think what we had is the master plan.
I'm driving down the road, there's still a little bit of traffic. and I can see the three fins at the entrance. I'm like, I'm home. I'm home. I already start to know what I'm gonna get. Not me. This is the resident's journey, right? I already know what I'm gonna get this moment I cross that gate.
So there are two things that water can do. One is it appeals to the visual sense. It provides a balance of blue as opposed to means that there is a blue and the green color balance, and at the same time water also contributes to noise reduction. So in a dense busy city, when you hear the sound of water, generally it calms you down immediately. Of course, Delhi and Gurugram in general being a developing city, there is a lot of noise, a lot of a crowd. So we want this experience to be away from the city. So we are trying to design this experience whereby when people drive into the project, it almost feels as if it is entering into a new realm, into an oasis of calm.
Anywhere, connection with nature is always would be fundamental in design. So culturally, I would say that is universal. And being a landscape architect, I think we are try to bring those nature as close as human being, like habitat, for example. In these days, I mean, we have already sort of like, managed to destroy almost, 70% of the habitat. We're only kind of stuck with 30%. So the idea how landscape can reverse this trend, bring, maybe local species, maybe butterflies in our project. We don't have to drive, kilometers to see a butterfly. We design so butterfly can come.
People need green, and they need that in their lives. It's not trendy. Trendy was green walls 10 years ago. Plants up the side of a building. That was trendy. But green in our life and biophilia in our life is a trend. People want more connection with this. They feel good with this. It makes them healthier. It makes them happier. And the way we treat these projects is as if they are an urban resort. So you're in an urban environment, you're in an urban context, we have urban things going on, we're living our urban life. But this oasis that we've created, you enter, you're in it, you're part of it, whether private, whether public, in the various spaces. And there's a lot of the square meters or square footage dedicated to open landscape here. And so you have the intrinsic attribute of the outdoor landscape.
One of the design inspiration for this project is inspired by nature. So in nature, there are no straight lines. In nature, there is a curvature. So we want to bring this little bit of a curved elegance into the project. This project is very wonderfully situated near the junction of two main national highways. And the layout of the site is in such a way that there is high visibility of the three towers. And the crown will be one of those elements that will stand out from this junction and also from around the city. And we want this project to really stand out as icons of the city. And that's why the crown of the building is designed in such a way that it reflects the sky and has a very unique silhouette to it and will remain as icons of the city. The project has been planned in such a way that there is no overlooking between units. So from your balcony, you have unimpeded views towards the city from all units, and there is good privacy that have been planned in the master plan. And also the towers are lifted above, and there is continuous landscaping that go under the tower as well. The three towers will look spectacular at different times of the day. The curved balconies provide slightly different reflections across different times of the day, and it will appear very beautiful and spectacular. So we design in a very functional way. It is not about decoration or decorative details, but we work with simple lines. We work with large balconies, for example, and these large balconies being very functional. They are wide enough for the residents to be able to put furniture on them. The continuous balcony allows residents to be able to walk from one side of the unit to the other side, just as similar as how it is on the ground. The design of the club is basically inspired by natural contours, just like rice paddies or just like rice paddy terraces in the tropical region. So we envision this club to be have plentiful of greenery to appear sustainable and to merge with the landscape.
The main fundamental message, I would say, for this trillion is how do you get this disconnect from the city?
So the main idea with respect to the landscape is as that we really want this to be an experience as if you are leaving the city and going into an oasis of calm. So that's why the landscape is done inside, including the clubhouse, is done in such a way that it is intensely very natural, intensely very forested.
If you go into the forest, maybe you see the moss is coming down and goes and just dissolves into this lake forest. And the beauty of the lake forest is you can swim. It's reverse idea, It's a lake which you can swim, which is a swimming pool. It's not a lap pool.
This is a big Minecraft game that we've created. We have big spaces, we have small spaces. We have bright spaces, we have dark spaces. We have light palettes, we have dark palettes. We have active spaces, we have quiet zones. And through the diversity of the planning, the architecture, the interior, the design elements, the use of the materials, the use of lighting. We're using kinetic lighting that changes its tone throughout the day. So it mimics what the sun does to your eye as it changes from different color temperature throughout the tone of the day. And we've done that in key interior spaces to bring that in. So you have this photorealism of the natural light into dusk and darkness. And so those kind of things are extremely subconscious. Hopefully this, as a community, thrives into something that is its own little microcosm, right? And you've got towers with a lot of people in it, and we have these landscape gardens that are happening where the community comes together and kids are running across, and hopefully people are doing push-ups in the corner, and kids are kicking a football around, and someone's hitting some badminton, and you hear splashing in the pool going on in the background, and this amazing, beautiful landscape with beautiful architecture. That's like the first flower blooming in the beginning of a community, in the beginning of a society.
The trillion at Sector 48 Gurugram.
In case you're wondering where इतना बड़ा वीडियो क्यों दिखाया for the artist, that's our DNA, right? Our core is our product, right? That's the Experion DNA. The product is at the core, and these designers is who helping it bring to life, right? So they talk about the concept of 3 being inculcated across the development, whether it's the entry fin at the entrance, whether it's the 3-tiered club, whether it's the 3 towers, or whether it's a 3-step amphitheater that you have within the development. The product remains at the core, everything else centers around it, and that's why it is important to showcase to you what's our core DNA, which is product at the center and everything about it. What we're going to do now is quickly take you through a walkthrough of the development, just to quickly run you through what the product actually is, and then Anku can quickly take you through the product after. The quick reveal on the pricing is we're going to do in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
So, for every project to success, there are 3 main major factors: location, location, and location. And the best part with this, the trillion, is this is the 100% developed, socially developed location. We have a schools, we have malls, we have hospitals within 5 to 10 minutes. We are connecting with 2 major highways, a state highway and the national highway. So location is already a sold out product. Now we have to sell only product. Now I'm showing you a small video about location. It will give you more sense, more clarity. Now, let me take you inside the trillion. Trillion दिखता कैसा है अंदर से? It will give you a fair idea about the product. How differently we are creating this. Can we have video, please? Isn't it a majestic 3 skyscraper tower? Still plus 45. Amazing. Over 1 lakh square feet of club area. Ground coverage only 26%. Close to 80% open area. This is mind-boggling.
Let me just correct what Atul was trying to say was that we have about 60,000 square feet of built-up club area, plus your amenity space put together is about 1 lakh square feet. But what we're trying to curate here is very, very different. What we're trying to create here is a vertical development, but still have the entire ecosystem that you need of luxurious amenities within this development. Right, the club itself is 3-tiered. We have a beautifully designed inorganic swimming pool in the 5.5 acres that we have. Amazing club drop-offs like the one that you're seeing here, and amazing tower drop-offs. The tower drop-offs are huge, right? And you get these 20 feet high entrance lobbies which give you access to your residencies. The actual lobby has these beautifully designed spiral staircases which are coming from basement level 1 to the main lobby. Plus you have these green landscape shafts which are also providing this green landscape within the entrance lobby that you have. Right, in the consultant video, if you heard it clearly, they've tried to create a lot of this biophilia and this green to cover about 80% of space within the development. How we've been able to do that is that we've used a lot of the area under the stilt of the towers to develop this green. Right, so you have these stilts, so you don't have any apartment at the ground level. You primarily have your entrance lobbies and these beautifully curated greens within the stilt area. Right, so we'll quickly just move through the product. A lot of it was self-explanatory within the video. So differentiated facade. What we've done is that we've kept the inside of the apartment very, very regular. We've given these huge running 14-meter long balconies close to about 54-55 feet, which are curved in shape, which give this facade a unique character. So if you look at it from the top, you take a bird's eye view, it looks like a crescent. It looks like, it looks like a moon which is just setting. So that's what we've done with the facade. And the other unique feature of the facade is that if you can see, you have these alternating balconies within floors, which gives you double height on the alternate floors in your house. So these units will have these double height balconies within the apartment, plus this long running 14-meter balcony. Right, the entrance itself is grand. Ankur, how wide is the entrance?
65 feet up
65,
front.
so
Front
the
is
entrance,
65 feet.
So you have a grand entrance experience. You have a 65 feet wide entrance. You have separate entry exit. Your ramp is right at the entrance, so you don't have to drive around within the development, keeping most of the development vehicular movement free. Right. We have created, given the width, so we had the luxury of a wide entrance. One of the features that we've been able to incorporate, although not appreciated regularly, but very, very important, is that you have a separate dedicated drop-off for school buses who are coming up to pick up the kids from the project. So that's what we've been able to create within the entrance.
Amit rightly said, one more major point, we have a no vehicle movement on central arcade area. There will be a no vehicle. So this is something very unique feature in it.
A 3-tiered club, we saw it in the walkthrough. Replicating rice paddy fields is how this has been designed and conceptualized by the designers. The ground floor overlooks this beautifully designed lake forest, and the 65,000 club essentially has all amenities that you'll need. Right? So from indoor squash courts to a restaurant bar area to a banquet facility with pre-function area, all of that is part of this magnificent club that we constructed.
This is the lake forest concept, wherein we have a inorganic shaped water body covered with dense green. This is something very amazing. A landscape.
So the concept of 3 is also integrated somewhere too in our landscape. What the landscape designers try to do is that integrate some of these 3-petal flowers within the landscape, just to extend the concept of 3 within the landscape area that you're building.
This is one more artistic image inside the Trillion. We have talked about long running balcony. These are 14-meter running balcony with the maximum depth size is 7.5 feet. At minimum size is 6 feet.
You know, so it's a feature that we think is going to be appreciated quite a bit. The reason primarily being that when you're going vertical with the development, we're going still plus 45, right? Higher floors with these long running decks gives you unobstructed, unhindered views for till the horizon of the beautiful city, which is Gurugram. So a concept which is going to be appreciated very, very highly by the residents who are going to be living there.
Now time has come. Now we have talked some business, some numbers. Let's start.
Yeah, so what we're going to do now is essentially look at the customer proposition. We're interested to know what the price is. Right, for the beautiful development that we've done. Right, we want to know what we're going to be selling this at. You know, we've been engaging with a lot of our friends here, and the pricing that we've been communicating is 25,000 rupees a square foot. Right, that's the number that we want to start with. I think it's a very, very attractive number given the kind of location that we have and the kind of development that we do. Right, but given you know, we'd want to give a excellent value proposition to some early entrants in our development. If you could just run this please for us. Just got better, right? 24,000 is good enough. I think it's a good price. I think will work well for people who wanting to buy a high-end luxury development on a city-centric location. Yes, no? Let's run this again, please. No? Let's try and do it. Let's do this right this time. Yeah? Let's show them the final price that we're offering. No? I think that's good enough. 22,000 rupees a square foot. No? Chitresh, can you run this one final time? Right, so our all-inclusive price except the GST and the PLC is going to be 21,499. Right? It's an excellent price given the location and the product that you've seen. What we're doing is that we're slightly going beyond your expectations and offering a very, very limited period. Inaugural discount of?
सर आपने प्राइस तो बहुत अच्छा बता दिया है, इसमें थोड़ा सा
right, so for a very, very limited period, what we are doing is that we are offering an inaugural discount of 1,000 rupees per square feet on the all-inclusive price of 21,499, translating to a final price of 20,499, which is inclusive of all charges except the preferential location charge and the GST. यहाँ लग नहीं रहा excitement है. Is this a good price? No. Right, so this is available for a very, very limited period of time. What I am requesting you to do, all my old new friends that are here, give us the opportunity to showcase this development to your customers, to your team, and visit us. So where we currently based, our teams are based at our office in Sector 15, which is at the Milestone Experion Center. If you've seen 32nd Avenue right next to that, we have this beautiful commercial building on the 3rd floor. We have a beautiful curated sales lounge for your teams and customers to come and experience this development. Beautifully curated. We are good to take EOIs now. The project is RERA approved. It is recommended that your investors and customers move quickly because this offer is going to be for a very, very limited period. What Ankur is going to do now is introduce you. You're going to introduce the team now or later? Introduce the team now or later?
No.
Right. So the end users also to enter. In the initial 120 days, we already only requesting the customer to pay 20%. right? Starting with 5% as the booking amount, another 5% within 30 days, and the next 10% within 120 days. Then what we're doing is that giving a long holiday for the investor, which is the next payment of 15% becomes due either on the 10th floor slab or 1st May 2027, whichever is later, right? So after your installment of 120 days, you have close to about 20 months before the next installment becomes due. That is given we are able to put up the slab for the 10th floor before that. Right, if the 10th floor slab is after the 1st of May of 2027, the installment will get due once the 10th floor slab is. The next 15% installment is on the 25th floor, another big gap between the next installment. And then a 24 gap, which is because our top slab is 45th, your 10% payment comes on the 45th floor. How's the payment plan? सर देखो, अगर आपका एक्सपेक्टेशन था कि मैं 25-75, 30-70, 40-60, I am telling you, and I think all of us know in our heart, for a new launch where the developer is wanting to develop a beautiful, compliant development, offering those payment plans is not possible. My sense is individually, don't quote me, it will be difficult for people who are offering 30-70 now at this stage of the project to be able to make it see the light of the day. So what we've done is that we balanced it beautifully. The payment till the structure is only about 60%. It is not very taxing on the investor. The initial payment holiday gives a long breather because initially you're paying only 20%. You enter, you have this long holiday of about 20 odd months before you make the next payment. And I think with the help of finance here, our CFO is here, Mr. Saurabh Gupta. With his help, we've been able to. Sir, खड़ा होना पड़ेगा आपको. मतलब we've got you to thank for doing what we're doing with the payment plan because you're managing the cash flow. I think we have a very, very balanced payment plan, extremely relaxed in the beginning, very, very balanced during the structure, and then backloaded at the end. So works, good, bad. Sir, अच्छा है तो ताली बता के बता दो अच्छा है. It's a good plan. So that's the value proposition for the customer. We've given it a lot of thought, taken a lot of feedback from our friends here before coming up with this value proposition. I find it very, very exciting. Our CEO finds it very, very exciting. He finds it so exciting that Mr. Malagi has decided to buy a 4-bedroom here. And I'm not kidding. आप gallery आओ, I will show you. Sir ने swipe कर दिया 5 लाख रुपए का आदि. And that's the conviction that we have as Experion on the project, that we wanted to put our own money in the development. And that's what we're creating. So that's the value proposition for the customer.
This is all about the trillion.